Hello, hello! My name is Callista, and welcome back to Pentiment. In the last episode, we were kind of strong-armed into not only completing Lorenz's book, taking over from Brother Piero, but he also insisted that we join him at the abbot's table for dinner. Now, we couldn't warn the Druckers that we wouldn't be able to make it to them. I feel very guilty about all of that. Now, Lorenz is asking if we've read Matthew much. I did say that Andreas was religious. I do think that he has, the Lord in his heart. However, I think he very much forges his own path. He likes wine, he likes women, he likes a good meal. And so I don't really see him reading the Bible. I don't really see him reading that. If he listens to it in church, that's great, but I don't see him going out of his way to read the Bible. Not really, to be honest. Deal with it, sir. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you... Is that going to be bind? Okay, yeah, it is. I'm reading ahead. Okay. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. Then he ordered his disciples not to tell anyone that he was the Messiah. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. That reminds me, Father Gertner, have you read anything by Martin Luther? Oh. I can't say that He has some incredible ideas about the church. Brilliant, I think. Oh. And everyone looked over. I love the different reactions. Guy looks pissed. This guy's just looking like, oh my god, did he really say that? Did he really? And Adolf, to be fair, Adolf looks permanently pissed. This man has a permanent scowl on his face. My lord, is the meal to your liking? I believe I remember you enjoying our quail on your last visit. The quail. My god, Father Abbot, the quail's fine, but don't you think Luther's ideas are worth discussing? He is talking about the future of the church, shaking things up in a way I don't think we've seen before. Father Thomas, you see value in his ideas, do you not? Yeah, Father Thomas, this guy, proper scowl. Proper scowl. He's not willing to even entertain this. Father Gertner, he's trying to be diplomatic, try and steer the course to food, to the quail, the delicious, delicious quail. Father Thomas. Oh, I approve of that. He's got his beliefs, he's sticking to them. He's not going to try and play diplomat, he's going to stick to his beliefs. I can respect that. My lord, I mean no offence, but I do not. Brother Matthew, yes, how appropriate. What are your thoughts on Luther's attacks on the church's sale of indulgences? Matthew's like, keep me out of this, please. Baron, please do not involve the other brothers in this discussion. Fine. What about Andreas? Certainly, a man who attended the same university as Martin Luther can spare some thoughts on his work. Oh no. He's really put me in a difficult position. Oh. Oh, Beatrice isn't even... could this be Beatrice and her image just hasn't shown up, maybe? I don't know. So Socrates says, why not join in a debate? It may bring everyone closer to an understanding truth. I need to be quiet. I don't know what else to do. To hell with the abbot. If he can't handle a little criticism, he isn't fit to sit at the fancy table. The abbot is screwing over Clara, and I like Clara. I'm being incredibly petty. I don't care. I don't care. To hell with the abbot. If he can't handle a little criticism, he isn't fit to sit at the fancy table. That doesn't seem like the most prudent attitude at the moment. Oh, it's certainly not prudent. It's certainly not prudent. Would Piero be disappointed in us? That's the question. That's what really matters. Oh. I was saying before, I think that Andreas absolutely agrees with Martin Luther's opinions on the sale of indulgences. I think he absolutely agrees with that. It's not on. It's not right, it's not fair, it's not equal. And to be fair, life isn't fair, life isn't equal. But aren't we all supposed to be equal in the kingdom of heaven? Isn't that one of the church's main talking points? So, I think that Andreas also stands behind his convictions. I do apologise if you can hear my stomach rumbling. Why does my stomach rumble in episodes where there's food? I'm always hungry. I can't help myself. Why not? Where should we start? This will be remembered. I regret nothing and everything. Ah, a debate. Excellent. Why not start with the 95 theses? Kenno's had enough of our shit. I can't blame him. I can't blame him. Enough. Andreas, you should know better, but I don't. Lord Rothvogel, you are our guest and held in high esteem, but you have worn out my patience. You will not be discussing Luther's work with Andreas, Thomas, Matthew, or with any other brother. Is that clear? I suppose, Father, it is your abbey, but you're taking too much offence at this, and you're far too afraid of change. Whether it's from Luther or someone else, reform is coming to the church. You had better accept it. Oh! The ink splatter! The ink... Oh, I'm loving this. I'm loving all of these little details surrounding the dialogue, how it's conveyed. You can tell this man is spitting mad. This man is spitting mad, and it's being conveyed with that splatter. Oh my god, this is beautiful. What? Neither you nor Martin Luther dictate change to the Holy Church on their whim. This talk is beyond insulting. It's blasphemous, outrageous. How dare you? I see. I have overstepped my bounds, and I suppose I have ruined everyone's supper. My apologies. In spite of this unpleasantness, I will make good on my manuscript payment and the donation of my copy of Historia Tassii. If you cannot accept what the future will bring, perhaps it's time for you to come to terms with your past. Ooh. Now, we learned from Illuminata, we learned from her the Historia Tassii. It all relates to, I think she said the founding of Tassing. It all relates to, you know, the Roman conquest. And, you know, how do I put it? The foundations of the village that would become Tassing as we know it today. That founding. It all relates to that. That's what she said. Oh, because that's a threat. That's a threat right there. I'm trying to engage you in debate, and you aren't playing ball. In fact, you're doing the opposite. You are shutting me down thoroughly. You're saying, oh, me and Martin Luther can't dictate the winds of the church. Ba ba ba. We can't direct the future of the church. He's become insulted. He's a noble. He's not going to have been told no many times in his life. And he's throwing this in their faces. Like, oh, if you can't accept the future, then perhaps it's time for you to come to terms with your past. This is a threat. This is a threat. How so? If you cannot accept what the future will bring, perhaps it's time for you to come to terms with your past. Well, no need to overstay my welcome. Fathers, brothers, Andreas, good night. Why did you not give me money for Clara? That's why. Oh, it's because I don't like you. That's it. That's literally it. Why, Andreas? Why did you engage him? I expect better of you. Now then, I must ask you to leave so I can speak to the brothers in the chapter privately. Brother Piero, please accompany Andreas out. I will take my leave as well. Good night. Don't worry about Father Gano and the Baron. I'm sure it will all be fine by morning. I hope Father Abbot can see that the Baron's heart is in the right place, even if he picked the wrong time to express himself. No wonder that Piero doesn't mind. He's all about embracing the future. He's all about that life, so yet no wonder he's not offended. I hope Father Abbot can see that the Baron's heart is in the right place, even if he picked the wrong time to express himself. That seems unlikely. I think the Baron should apologise if he wants to be forgiven. It does seem unlikely. Father Gano, here's the thing, it goes beyond. I keep saying, like, oh, he didn't give money to Clara, he didn't give money to Clara. It's not just that, it's the fact that he's raising the rent for everyone. And Tassing is suffering. Tassing is... It's gonna reach capacity for how much it can take, for how much weight it can bear. And he seemed completely unsympathetic. He seemed completely unsympathetic. Here's the thing. Yeah, okay, so these people can't pay the rent, so they get kicked out. Who's going to move in? Who's going to move in? To be brutally honest, what does Tassing have? It's got an abbey that's on its last legs. And, like, that's it. There's a printing press. That's quite unique. However, I guarantee there are going to be other villages that are more prestigious, that have more more things at their disposal, more amenities that have lower rates of rent. There doesn't seem to be anything particularly unique or special that would make people go like, oh, we have to go to Tassing. We have to go to Tassing for this. We have to go to Tassing for the Abbey. We have to go to Tassing for the printing press. There are better abbeys, there are other printing presses. He's going to raise the rents to the point where everyone leaves and then he's going to be left with nothing. He seems completely unsympathetic to the struggles of the villagers out there. It's not just that he wouldn't give money to Clara, it's that he's raising the rents for everyone and there doesn't seem to be any compassion in his heart. The Baron did. He did attend their dinner and metaphorically shit all over it. So the Baron should apologise. We should apologise. I do acknowledge that. Andreas is being petty. I'm being petty. We should absolutely apologise too, and I may if we get the chance. But I don't... The abbot seems like the type of person to hold grudges. That seems unlikely. It may be so, but we must never lose hope. In any case, I do hope the Baron respects the abbot's wishes for the rest of his stay, for everyone's sake. Brother Piero, what do you think of Martin Luther's ideas? That is for younger and wiser men than me to decide. I am just a monk, thank God. Good night, my son. I can respect that. I can respect that, knowing full well I am not equipped to deal with this conversation. I am not equipped to deal with these issues. Therefore, I have no opinion. I'm going to take a step back and not have an opinion because this is well above me. Like, I respect that. I respect staying true to your opinions, and also when you know yourself well enough to know, yeah, I shouldn't be having an opinion on this. I shouldn't be. I like Piero. Gonna do a little love heart for Piero. I like him. Good night, my son. An awkward supper. I should get some sleep. Oh, it's a shame that we wouldn't have time to go to the Druckers. Like, we got kicked out of there early enough. Oh. There's a lamp still burning in the guest house. Lorenz must still be awake. I wonder how he's doing. And what was he thinking? He's a baron, but he couldn't have expected that to go well. No, he was stirring. He was stirring the pot. The storm doesn't seem to be letting up anytime soon. I should get back to the Gertners. Or I could explore. Is this place... Okay, no, we can't even access this place now. Okay. It was locked before. Yeah, I don't think there was a time where we could have snuck in or out like that. I think it'll probably open up later on. Huh? Oh! Hello? Huh? Okay, I'd be saying more than God. Okay. Good. Are you all right, Master Mailer? Oh. I believe I may have just seen the physical manifestation of a spirit. A ghost. He's seeing ghost. Did you see that in the aqueduct? I think so. I think it's between these. We will look a bit crazy. Saying this, we might look a wee bit crazy. I mean, I'm inclined to go with this because this is one of our special options. Yeah, we might look slightly crazy, but you know what? Fuck it. I believe that I may have just seen the physical manifestation of a spirit. He knows. This man is not surprised. He's seen some shit whilst he's been out here with his sheep. Very angry looking sheep. The ghost? Yes, maybe there must be a better Oh, this is interesting. Going for the occultism, option, and also going for logistician? Logician? Something like that. We have this interest in the occult, but maybe it comes from a place of like, hey, there's always a logical explanation for everything. There's always a logical, rational, earthly explanation for everything that we see. Maybe, oh, that's cool. There must be a better explanation than that. Well, I'm not here to tell you what you saw. Wouldn't be the first time people have seen ghosts round these parts. Interesting. Hello, you're right. Interesting. I don't think it was a ghost. Have you ever seen one? Yeah. How many people have seen this thing? That's what I'm curious about. Have you ever seen one? Usually round the ruins. Who knows how many restless Roman lie beneath these stones? Well, I think I found Johann's last lost sheep. I'm going to head home. Take care, Master Mailer. I will, thank you, Till. You too, good night, Till. Yeah, I will. Thank you, Till. Interesting. Very interesting. More mysteries. Okay. Oh, the sudden music change. I was going to say, like, how mystical do we think this game is going to be? How mystical, how magical? Or do we think that this is going to be squarely based in reality? In which case, probably not a ghost. There's probably some other perfectly normal, rational explanation for it. Ooh. Okay, Amelie. Ah, no! Funnily enough, I recently watched The Pale Horse. They did a BBC adaptation, Agatha Christie's The Pale Horse. I can't remember the actual Bible verse, but it's like, I saw a pale horse, and on his back rode Death. The rider's name was Death, something like that. Pale horse, still on the floor. I want to listen in. I want the gossip. Matins. Monastic hour corresponding to 2 a.m. It is used for the night prayer. Matins, the pale horse, Death. Sister, listen to my voice. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Yes. Yes, Father, I hear you. Am I here? Is this now? Yes, you are with us, and this is now. I apologise, Andreas. I imagine that must have been quite alarming. Is she all right? She is, yes. Sister Amelie is a mystic, gifted with visions when God sees fit to give her one. Some are more frightening than others. What is she doing there? Does she live in the church? How long has she been here? Yeah, why isn't she with the other sisters? Why isn't she with the other sisters up at the convent? What is she doing in there? Does she live in the church? She lives there, yes. I'm a little surprised you haven't noticed her before. If you came to Mass more often, you would see that I give her communion through a window to her cell. Her cell? She is an anchoress, a religious hermit, so devoted to God that she has enclosed herself in a cell next to the church. She is dead to the world, but continues a life of prayer and religious contemplation. And sometimes, ever so rarely, she receives great and terrible visions. Is she local to Tassing, or was she a nun at Kursaal? Neither. She came here from a Benedictine abbey in Lower Bavaria after it burned down. I am her confessor and caretaker. Many anchoresses are not literate. I write down her visions to help interpret them. I thought all the monks and nuns at Kursaal could read. Even poor Brother Volkbert. Thank you, Father Thomas. I must rest now. Then, of course, sister. I was about to say, yeah, she seems unhappy. It sounds like she is in a great deal of pain. Yeah. It sounds like she is in a great deal of pain. She is. She feels a pain that is both physical and spiritual. Her spiritual pain comes from her revelations. They come and go. I try to address them as best I can. The physical pain comes from a deformity in her spine and aching in her joints. I know of no cure for that, save prayer to the Almighty. Sister Amelie was saying she had a vision of death. Could someone be in danger? Oh, no, don't rush to judgment. Her visions are divine and powerful, but they could have many meanings. Some of her revelations take years to comprehend. Some may never be understood at all, as God wills it. Still, the argument at dinner was quite troubling. Perhaps it has cast a shadow over our thoughts. Now then, the good sister appears to have fallen back to sleep. I must prepare for bed myself. Good night, Andreas. Good night, Father. I find that concerning. Oh, we still can't knock on. We can't knock on and say sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. I feel guilty. Interesting. That was interesting and disturbing. And cool. No, we need to go down this way. Yes, to Gertner Farm. Oh, and now we have to face the music. I still feel so guilty that we weren't able to get them their rent in advance. And we promised. Oh, hello. You're right. Okay. And here they are, all asleep. Oh, and we're gonna have to break the news in the morning. I believe we looked at everything here. Yeah, I really should clean this up. And the Picatrix, Key of Solomon, the Heptameron, cry for rent keeps giving me all of these books to read. Okay, you know what? I want to put off giving the bad news to the Gertners, so I am going to bring this episode to a close right here in the next one. Bad news, both for the Gertners and maybe for someone else. Maybe we will get our first murder, but until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Kallista. Thanks for watching and see you in the next episode.